Hy's gebore in die land van wyn en koring, effens groot en pakkie bulle aan die horing. Hy stap daar met 'n blou ding in sy hand, toe hy dit suig, dink almal, die dorp is aan die brand. En hy sê lekker, lekker op 5 plekke, en almal staan met opgehangde bekke. Hy sê hoe's het en hy vat nog 'n paar trekke, want dis lekker, lekker op 5 plekke. Sy sak hang swart en al die batterye, hy koop die sousie nie, hy maak sy eie. Sy bure sien die wolk en gooi 'n tuinslang oor die muur, maar het ruik so suurlemoen en het proe selfs bietjie suur. En hy sê lekker, lekker op 5 plekke, en almal staan met opgehangde bekke. Hy sê hoe's het en hy vat nog 'n paar trekke, want dis lekker, lekker op 5 plekke. En hy sê lekker, lekker op 5 plekke, en almal staan met opgehangde bekke. Hy sê hoe's het en hy vat nog 'n paar trekke, want dis lekker, lekker op 5 plekke.
There we go, there we go. Alright. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Wednesday Winged session here down in Cape Town at the Table Mountain, the most beautiful province in South Africa, I tell you. Let's quickly just do a video check and a sound check. Let us know inside the chats with a thumbs up or a for okay or some kind of affirmative action, verbal affirmative action, that we are good to go. We have got Kobus Carpenter, who's been waiting here from 2 o'clock this afternoon already, saying it's a family meeting time at 8 o'clock. It's becoming a weekly highlight. Nice to hear, very nice to hear. There's Shal van Niekerk, K-Fam, hope all is good and well and ready for an awesome night tonight. That's right, I'm sure you all know the guest who is going to appear later tonight. We did communicate via Facebook about an hour ago, and I posted him the link, so I'm sure he will pitch up and we will get to know Mr. Victor Mullin, also known as the Vaping with a Vic, the master of the UK vape scene. But in any case, so we've got Warren Dean inside the house. Good evening, Warren. Well, evening people of the Kazorian Palace nogal likes. Hier is my Palace. And we've got Zach Damon inside the house. Zach is probably tooting on his side-by-side Steam Crave mod, playing around with his 25mm Aromamizer Supreme 25mm Beast. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Zach Damon. But it is. I mean, it's obviously a nice thing with Steam Crave. Steam Crave releases good products. So it's always a easy bet if you decide to go down the Steam Crave route. Let's just quickly get this monkey nut ready for a bit later. That should be A for okay. I don't know what's happening here with this little screen. Let's just quickly tweak this number a bit though. Let's get you in there and you in there, and there you go. A little bit smaller. I say. That's just for a bit later. Let's quickly see. Okay, Zach Damon here and Jaco Veldhuis. Good evening, Jaco. I am tooting on your juice tonight in one of what I haven't got in front of me. Your lemonade tea. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it. We will go through the buffet in a wee bit. Let's just quickly check if somebody has affirmative here, that the sound and the stuff is everything hunky-dory. Nanshal, goed dankie, daai kant sê Jaco. We've got Glock 82 inside the house. We've got Nico Libbe inside the house. Pierre de Kok is here as well. Mr. Zahir Jardine is not catching fish tonight. He has decided it is better on Wednesday evenings because the fish ain't biting along the coast. He might as well join us for a winged session. Good evening, Zahir. Welcome. And I see Zahir has also started a YouTube channel. and they played some other drinking game on one of the videos. Tienes Mulder, evening to all the chat. Good evening, Tienes. Welcome. Sith Walker, nice to have you here as well. Mr. Dion Dunhauser is here. Here are some of the whole families up and running. Timothy, Victor. They've here that Timothy doesn't sleep. He just does not sleep. He's already got a new vape meet. I will show you the banner. I came across the banner, and it's apparently a challenge. The big Gauteng cities are going to compete with one another, but I'll show you that banner a bit later over there. So Timothy, thank you very much for joining. One of my moderators as per usual, Charles van Niekerk, another moderator. So do not use that filthy language on this nice happy family channel. How's it? South Prawn says, all looks and sounds good. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Ryan Banna. Hey, lekker naam that, huh? Lekker naam that. Ryan Banna. We're looking forward to this one. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it there. I think if you enjoyed tonight's guest, you certainly most likely will enjoy next week's guest as well. We also just spoke an hour or so back on Facebook. I need to email him. We need to confirm a date and a time, but he is more than willing to come on this show so that we can talk to him and get to know him better though. But you will all definitely know who I'm talking about, and I think you will be very excited about this guest as well. We always got the best guests on this show. I mean, it's all the big guys, the nice guys, the people that do not worry about number or subs, down to earth folk, and it's always nice to chat to those kind of people. And I mean, let's face it, as South Africans, where do we ever have the opportunity? It's like my biology class, where I've got an enormous amount of taxidermy animals inside that class, and I've got a lot. I've got a swart wildebeest, eland, I've got kudu, I've got springbok, I've got rooikat, I've got vlakvark, bosvark, zebra, here you mean it, hartebeest, tarantale, gompoue, silverback jackals. I've got a lot of stuff inside my class, and when the people ask me, but why do I put it up in the class? And the simple reason is there's a lot of the kids which will never get the opportunity to be close to these animals in nature. So now they've got the opportunity to come close to really see the beauty and the size of a elandbok or a gemsbok or a kudu or something like that, or even the springbok or a duikertjie or a klipspringertjie, all those kind of things. By the way, let's quickly test the knowledge over here. What is a damara dik dik? Let's see who's got a bit of general knowledge regarding nature inside chat. A damara dik dik. What is that? What is that ugly thing I'm talking about? Nico also says all is good. Dion says all is okay. Copus Carpenter says 100. We're good to go. I think I'm going to be able to keep up with the chat much better tonight. Much better. So yeah, while we're chatting over there, let's quickly go through the buffet. And I've got some newbies. Obviously not this one. This one I've been using permanently. It's my daily. Let's be honest about it. This guy, the Arbiter 2 on the Aegis. And I think I need to get myself another one of these Aegises, that just as another backup. Because I mean, with you will see in the slideshow, the proposal for the vaping bill of 2023 is going to make your anus go like this. And I think we need to start just getting our gear ready for just in case. I mean, these guys are itching to get some serious money out of the vaping scene, that's for sure. And we often know how petitions work in South Africa. No matter whether they get enough signatures and enough people that is against something, you always get these numbnuts with a hidden agenda. And we just don't know who knows who and where the money is being channeled to. So yeah, it's always a dark horse in a country like this though, with corrupt politicians and not everyone. So I'm just saying. Anywho, Zahir says cool. Okay, that's that. And then we've got this. Okay, I decided to start up my Boxer 21700 Classic with the X Pro, and I mean it's a very nice combination. This just looky, man. It looks superb. Just for a bit of MTL action. And that's the X Pro for you, nice and quiet. Not the 1.4, This is the 4, the version 4. The other one which I really enjoy as well. So that's on my Boxer Classic with my little Kaiser theme running over there. And then Rahul sent me the Kylan because he noticed I did not have a review on the Kylan V2. Not the Kylan Mini, the original Kylan V2. Bottom airflow. And he just wanted my opinion about it. And he sent me this nice gold one to test. And it's actually very cute. He also sends along inside the package. Just wait for it. Wait for it. Let me just open there. Wait for it. Look at that. Look at that. It just includes an extra 100 for when I post-net it back to him though. So that's how nice that oak is. Sending a $100 bill with it so that I can test it. And I must say, if you've got your positioning of your coils correctly, I've got 2 blue white collar aliens inside here at the moment. And you don't get your coils, this one doesn't like the coils directly underneath. This one likes the coils closer to the airflow. And then according to me, you're going to get the best result out of this Kylan 2. So any of you guys who've got this RTA out there, this is one of those RTAs which is definitely a positive in your collection, which is an essential addition to your collection. It is very nice. It is not the Tauren Beast. It is not the Arbiter 2, but it's not far off from that as well. Gotta say. And it's inside here, I've got this lemonade tea from Jaco Veldhuis. That's his, I think it's him, always his buddy, that's got the apple lick. But that's one of the juices which he sent that came across here, which I've still got. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we have got this beauty. Look at that. Now for this one especially, I decided I will get my zoom ready and just click on there so that you can see a nice closey of this. Just check out them apples. Yo. Not the tank. The tank is a disappointment. It's about the mod. There you go. What a beautiful mod this is. And they basically just came in at E6 store. So I just had to get myself one. It's not the cheapest though, but they give you this lovely little package, and inside that box you are going to get the SL Class V2. There you go. But I decided to get this one. I think it's what's the vintage black, something like that. Let's just make dead sure. The black tang. I decided on the black tang, not the plain black. So obviously the biggest one which I actually wanted, but it's not as if it's being sold. I don't see it anywhere. Is the one with the blue. I would have loved that one as well. But this is a beauty. It is a beauty. And then now, okay, what is on here is Uncle Rob sent me 2 RTAs. The one was this. Now this is the Wasp version 2. This Oakie. The Wasp Nano 2 RTA. It's this guy. But I don't like it. It's not a nice one. And one of the problems is if you decide to run this, if you decide to buy this, I'd rather use it with the bubble glass, because your barrel is so close to your glass that if you vape 70-30 juice or even a thicker VG juice, you're going to struggle to get your juice past that barrel. It's so close to this glass. It's a bit of a bummer. So yeah, and I mean the flavor is also not that great. But it is a single coil. It's not a dual coil, so I'm not going to get the flavor which I get from these beasts in front of me. Let's just quickly see if there's a message coming through. Maybe. Okay, no problems. Everything is good. And then, ladies and gentlemen, check out them apples. Are you ready? Yo. I think we need a little bit of a zoomie for this one as well. Yo. Look at that. The Valkyrie, 30mm. Beautiful blue, fits fantastically on this paranormal edition triad. Lolo. And this thing, I mean, since I watched the review of Derek Keefe, Ambitions, where he actually compared this with the Fat Rabbit with the Arbiter 2 and decided that this guy has got super flavor. I just wanted it. And then Uncle Rob said he's going to send me RTAs which he's not interested in. I never expected this to pitch up here. Obviously not. The smile was there when I received it. So Uncle Rob, thank you very much for sending the Valkyrie from Vapor's Cloud to me. It is definitely an addition to the collection, for sure. This thing kicks ass. Yo. Oi. And I used the coils, I think, which was inside here, if I'm not mistaken. I think Uncle Rob had 2.5 millimeter aliens inside here. So I'm just imagining what 3 millimeter blue white collar aliens is going to be like in this guy with my cotton bacon prime inside here. I think this thing is going to be humongous. So yeah, this is absolutely an RTA. If you guys enjoy the flavor from the Tauren, you enjoy the flavor from the Arbiter 2, this is a good one. I can definitely suggest this for sure. But let me know if you want me to do a review on it, if you want to see a nice close-up of this monkey nut. But I think it looks beautiful. It is a beautiful RTA. And I said I'm so glad that he's entering blue, because now at least I've got something to fit that sits beautifully on this triad as well, this Paranormal edition, because it is a beautiful looking mod. Any case, let's quickly go to the chats before we go over to the slideshow, and let's see what is happening over here. Tinus Otto, hello peeps, AKS is inside the house. There's AKS, let's check him out, where is it? You oaks are so quick. There you go. Evening all, hope everyone's doing well, AKS. Thank you very much. JP Maton is inside the house. Timothy says, hit the like button, Oaks. Lekker man, hit the like button. It's Wednesday, it is klein Saterdag. It's almost weekend. It's only two sleepies. And I had a mean day. Oh my word. Except for all the classes which we obviously had. Right after school, we had what they call a staff development meeting, which is all about this the Poppy Act, which is coming through, which basically protects individuals with the information. And you can imagine a school where you've got 1,200 kids, where you've got teachers which need to have info about them available for the parents, how that's going to impact. This Poppy Act is a strict thing, oh my word. So any case, but it's after all there to protect you. Tennis Mulder, chop, she said, all the fish is wearing masks, they don't want to bite. Yeah, I don't know if you oaks watch, what's that oak's name? Bushcraft, the oaks in Canada. Greg Owens Bushcraft, whatever. But he had a challenge now in one of his latest videos. I enjoy watching these oaks with the survivalists going out there and making fires with their fingers and all that kind of stuff. But he's got a fish trap. And these oaks that do lake fishing, ice fishing, he had a challenge out for the oaks building one and actually videoing it, catching a fish. But just to watch the traps these oaks make, it's just amazing. So in any case, you're talking about the fish wearing masks. Those oaks struggle to get a bite of fish, for sure. Good evening, Fee. Nice to have you here as well. We've got Tinus Otto. Welcome to the Winged Primary, an additional member that joined tonight. On the night which we're going to chat to Mr. Vaping with Vic. There you go. Let's grow, family. Let's grow. Let's become the biggest thing in South Africa. Ne? We're already the biggest thing in South Africa. But let's get to that point where we're totally out of reach of anyone else that attempts to get the member base, the family base that this channel actually has. So yeah, welcome Tinus. It's very nice to see you joined us. Warren says, hey Henry, Dawn Oosthuizen is here. Good evening, Dawn. Henry says, how's it Timothy and Warren? He doesn't say hello to the rest. He doesn't care for the rest. Message deleted. Waar is die arme ding alweer? Alright, If Timothy deletes a message, then it's definitely worth deleting. That's for sure. Ilandre Delport, good evening, yes sir. You are there as well, Fee, that I've got, that is Ben van der Merwe. Hello meneer, goed om te sien. Alright, let's quickly go through the slideshow. Because there's a few interesting things, not necessarily devices, but developments. And there's one of them. Now check out that number. So what I'll also do is I'll just quickly post in chat the link. The link where you guys need to go and sign the petition to try and stop this madness. Okay, I'll post it now inside chat. There you go. So there you go. That is the VSML petition webpage. So if you are a bit worried about what you're going to see here, then you need to go and sign that petition. Because as I said, these oaks in South Africa, the problem which we have in South Africa, I think the models which we follow in different state sectors are based on models which are from countries where these models don't work. And that's the whole reason why this whole OBE, outcomes-based education, it's something which has been adopted from overseas. Now, obviously, this is another thing. This whole idea of totally taxing, totally making the postage of vape products basically illegal. That couriers are not allowed to post these things. But it says there, the proposed bill calls for the ban of online sale and couriering of vape products. Now just imagine that impact. I think most of us actually get probably 80% of our vape related products we get online from ordering it. Me most definitely. I'm probably at 95%. So it is going to be a bit of a sucky ass thing if they start implementing this idea in the beginning of 23, for sure. And then we've got this as well. Check out that joke. People R2.90 per milliliter taxed. Do you understand how expensive something like vape juice, if you're not into do it yourself, is going to become for you? So I best just go and follow that link, and after the show, sign up the petition, get your family to link up on their phones as well. Phone your uncle in the R, let that ook also go and just go and sign that petition. So yeah, at least if the crap happens, then you can at least say, listen, we tried. But sitting back and not doing anything with the amount of vapors there are in South Africa, whereby most of these guys are totally ignorant or totally unaware of exactly what the hell is going on. I think somebody also said that a very good idea to actually get the message spread is that vendors who actually sell online have a link at their checkout box. And it would be great. I think Moritz said something like that. That before you actually check out, you need to go to this website and sign the petition. You need to, before you can check out and actually order stuff. And I think that would help. That would help though. But in any case, it's not good. It's not good. So then we've got here that Timothy Victor caught this post on Facebook a bit earlier today. And by the way, before to continue my hectic day, and then I found out I've got a parent evening tonight as well. And then I just went to the grade head and and asked her nicely. I said, listen, could you just please tell me how long the parent evening is going to be? Because I've got a live show tonight and I've got a guest on the live show. So I need to nice and early on do the right thing and let the people know that if there's not going to be a show tonight or whatever. And she thankfully said, listen, it's fine. We just need to be there and sign in the parents of our register class and then go into the assembly where she can introduce the various register teachers to the parents, and then I can go. So luckily I obviously made it in time. I can put my slideshow, do my lighting and all that kind of stuff, do my testing and send out the link to Vic. So yeah, hopefully everything is going to be hunky-dory tonight. But there you've got a challenge, 2 vape meets. Johannesburg versus Pretoria. Let's see who has the largest attendance Do you accept the challenge? Saturday, 19 March, and the venue will still be announced. So yeah, Timothy, good luck with you guys with these vape meets, and I mean, I think it's a very good idea. You don't even have to compete with Cape Town anymore, because I mean, Cape Town, seems decided to let it go. We have given up. It seems to be the case. And then we've got this little picture, which I got on Thunderhead Creations, and I know there's a few members who like the Thunderhead Creations products, including me. Just take a sippy. Just a vapey. Have a heart. Damn it. Blimey, oh blimey, oh blimey. But apparently you just use one screw on this deck. Very mysterious. There's not any other information given besides a little video that's been posted where that little golden knob spins, and then from the one side your posts actually open up and then closes, and the other one opens up and closes. So you're just going to use a single screw to mount both your coils. But Lord knows, hopefully, this is going to be an updated, a Torrent Beast version 2. I would smoke that stickant if that would be a Torrent Beast V2 though. But any case, all that bothers me is the airflow, where the airflow is going to come in. The only place where the airflow can come from is from the side, not underneath that thing. So yeah, let's hope and let's see what's going on. Thank you very much for the guys that actually went to go and sign the petition. Nico Libber says done, Fee says done, Glock says done, Charles says done and dusted, Elandre done and dusted. Oh well, there you go. There you go. The people are active. We do not want these restrictive bloody measures in place. So yeah, that's a new one from Thunderhead Creations. We'll just have to wait to see what it's going to actually look like. And then I know I've posted this guy, but this is just some more photos of this. Not the word, my amper sê iets anders. This is the palette RDA, or the palette, I would say palette RDA from Broken Ohm. And the reason why I show that is because you can see the amount of airflow inserts which you actually get, but if you purchase it inside the box, you're only going to get 3, and that's the picture which I posted underneath of that box, which just includes those 3 airflow inserts. So just bear that in mind if you can get your hands on one of them, if you decide you want one of these guys, that you're not going to get the humongous amount of airflow inserts, that those will be available as an additional purchase, an extra optional purchase. And then we've got this. Now the reason why I'm showing you this is one of the questions I had on my quiz last week was how many Aegis, Geek Vape Aegis mods were there? And then the answer was 10. Officially 10, not counting this bloke. Where is it now? Not counting this bloke. Okay, this is not an official Aegis. This is the L200. So besides 10 official ones, now we've got 11. They decided to bring out this little pod, which they're going to call the AP2 kit. And guess what the A stands for? The Aegis. The Aegis Pod 2 kit by Geek Vape. So yeah, you've got another Aegis. At least it's got 4.5 mils capacity. You're going to be able to use 2 coils in this thing. I think it's a 0.6 and a 0.8. The G series coils. That's going to be in there. It's also going to be a little rugged bastard with a what do they call that rating? Something IP67, something like that. Making it fart proof, dust proof, spit proof, drop proof, weather proof, all kind of proofs. But yeah, that's that. And then I decided to show you this guy just because it's from a more well-known company called DG Flavor. But they released this, and what baffles me about this little thing is that they say apparently it's designed, the design is inspired by a Le Mans motor car. And you will see on the red one, which is basically just the back side. Okay, it's the same thing, the same color configuration. The one's just the front design, and the other one's the rear design with the USB-C port. But you'll see there the word Le Mans is written. So I'm not sure whether it is an exhaust pipe of one of the earlier ones, but how that design looks like a car, I've got no idea. It's probably a car part. But that is called the DU, which is Digi Uno pod kit. but they call it the DU, the DU, the DU. And then we've got this sweet pie. This is called the Le Petit box, but it's the VB22. Now, I'm not sure why they call it a 22, because apparently it can house a 23 millimeter. But yeah, the reason why I actually showed you this, because they released this now recently. But there was one which was released in 2017, and there they are side by side. The one on the left is the first one. Now, I don't see many differences, to be quite honest with you. Not many differences. Maybe it's obviously the one's got a better chip, and I see the buttons, the up and down buttons, not black anymore, but it's also the same color, brushed, stainless, or whatever that is. But otherwise, the thing is so similar that there has to be some other huge reason for them releasing another one 4 years later, which still basically looks exactly the same. Interesting. But that's the La Petite box, which is French. I think it's a company in Paris, which there is. And then the last one, which I'm going to show you, is this. And I mean, this looks interesting. It is a new side-by-side mod called the Proxima mod, and it's by a company called Tech Division. And that actually looks funky. For you folks who are into side-by-side mods, I think that one looks very nice. It looks good. Unfortunately, I think it's only an 18650, a single 18650. That is a bit of a bummer, which they've got over there. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is the slideshow which we have. So I can quickly just go onto Facebook so long and just check if Mr. Victor Mullin is in the area, and just post him another. Just want to make sure he's not. No, he's not here already. And then I'm just going to send him invite, send him another. Copy that little link over there, and hopefully he is watching his Facebook, because that's the only way in which I can get him. Let's say you can join when ready. You can join when ready. So hopefully he sees that. Okay, guys, let's just quickly go through chat and hope for the best. Let's hope he joins up, and but I should get a notification in any case when he pitches up. Let's quickly check the chats. Okay, so yeah, the petition, just remind all the people of the petition, just copy that link as well, and just go and paste it inside eSig SA, go and paste it on your Facebook page. Spread the thing, so that we can, from our side, do what we can do. Thanks a million, says Charles van die Kerk, says 10, ach no man, not another pod. Pierre de Kock, done, thank you very much. Here's an idea, why not make the pods taxable and not proper mods? Yeah. People hate the pods, but the pods are what sells the best. You can't blame the vendors for selling this stuff. Most people go and buy that. I mean, it's more convenient, put it that way, for the people. It's easier. Hildegard and Teens done. Mooi Teens. Him and his wife both signed up. That's great news. Let's quickly check over here. Petition completed and submitted. Thank you very much, Dawn Oosthuizen. Zach at Yaku, loving the new mod. Need to get that blue Advocacy vaping on what that, the Valkyrie. That Zach thinks just when he gets ahead of his vape gear, then another piece of equipment comes out which he really enjoys and actually wants. That's just weird. All right, we have got Mr. Vaping with Vic, so I'm going to admit him quickly and make sure everything is working. There's Mr. Victor.
Hello.
There you go, Victor. All right, I'm going to switch over now so that the people can actually see us in the Zoom screen. And there we go. Welcome to South Africa. But you've been on a South African show before, Victor.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, because I saw you sometime, but then I decided rather give you the opportunity to be on the best South African vaping show. And that at least is going to help you with your subs. So, Victor, thank you very much for joining. I do appreciate it. It's nice to see these larger reviewers actually reaching out, or actually just being prepared to join on these smaller shows. And I mean, South Africa, we do have a small vaping scene, but we've got very passionate vapers in South Africa. So I hope you can follow my dialect. I can talk a bit slower.
I can understand you.
Is it? Great stuff, man. Great stuff. So I assume, looking at your background, you are currently at home and not in the studio.
Oh yeah, I'm at house. I'm at the house. I'm out of that studio at round about 3:30 in the afternoon. Locked door, back home. Yeah.
So I assume, Victor, because I mean, first of all, you can quickly just tell us something about yourself. What made you decide? Were you a smoker? Started vaping? Just the basic whole idea of what got you into the game.
Basics. Back in March of 2014, I was suffering from severe stomach problems, and it turned out it was gallbladder issues. So I was in the hospital the second last week of March, getting my gallbladder taken out. This was back in 2014, and the anaesthetist walked up to me and said, "Right, we've done the X-rays. We know it's your gallbladder. You'll be going in tomorrow to get your gallbladder removed. Oh, and by the way, your lungs are deformed because you're a heavy smoker." And then he walked away, and I was like, "What? What was that?" He just matter-of-factly, "By the way, your lungs are deformed now." This was 8 years ago. I was still in my early 30s, but early to mid-30s back then. And I was thinking to myself, well, hold on a minute. If my lungs are already starting, because I was a really, really heavy smoker back then, really heavy, and I thought, hold on, if my lungs are deforming now, what kind of state am I going to be in 15, 20 years' time? Will I have COPD? Will I get cancer? And I was starting to worry. And the interesting thing was, even 8 years ago, so 2014, when not a lot was known about e-cigs, it was the surgeon who actually removed the gallbladder. It was the surgeon that said to me, if you want a surefire way to give up smoking, or at least cut it down, try electronic cigarettes. That's what the surgeon said. And I went, okay, I'll give it a go. And here I am, still vaping.
Now, that is something which is very rare, where you actually get a qualified, medical person that actually tells you to vape. You won't find that in a lot of places. Definitely not.
Well, it's even back in 2014. I mean, you've probably heard this already, but the National Health Service here in the UK, probably by the end of this year, they're going to start prescribing electronic cigarettes to smokers.
Yeah. And I think you guys are still, the UK is still the only country which I know, or only area which I know, where you've actually got vape shops inside hospitals.
Yeah, there's two in Birmingham, and I think there's another couple in the Greater London area. You walk into the hospital foyer, and there it is. I think it's e-cig Wizard. I think it's the company that got the contract for it. Sure, it's e-cig Wizard.
Jeez, like it. And I mean, there's not a lot of countries. I know New Zealand is totally pro-vaping. I think France is totally pro-vaping. Canada, I don't know. They up and down. Lord knows what is going to happen over there.
Canada keeps changing their mind. That's the problem with Canada.
No, that's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Vic, before I forget, I want to ask you, that girl in the poster behind you, who's that?
Anyone who remembers the original UK vape show, and this is going way back to 2015, 16, going into 2017, she was one of the co-hosts.
Oh my
Gwen.
goodness.
Gwen Go Lightly, and that picture's never moved. It's been there ever since.
I thought initially that was the girl from Muriel's Wedding, one of the nicest movies which I saw, but she looks a bit like the actress from Muriel's Wedding.
She does a bit.
And I thought, is it because you like ABBA's music that you've got that poster behind you? But now at least I know. Vic, there's a lot of praise inside chat for you being here. There's a lot. I mean, it's starting here at hi, Vic. Good evening, Vic. Welcome, Vic. My man, Vic, awesome having you here. Big welcome to Cape Town. Good evening, Vic. Welcome. Honored to see you, Vic, here with us, proudly South Africa. Great to have you here. So, I mean, that's the reason why I wanted you guys on, because, I mean, we've got such an admiration for you guys? I mean, I know that there's nothing special about vaping or vape reviews or things like that, though. But still, if you're into a hobby and you're really passionate about that hobby, you obviously start looking up at certain characters which got you into the game, and also that have played a huge role in increasing the information around that hobby. And you're definitely one of them.
Here's the best part, right? When I started the channel 8 years ago, it wasn't even a review channel. The whole point of what would become Vaping with Vic was I was going to basically do a vlog, and it was going to be a daily vlog with how I was getting on with the electronic cigarette. It was a little Cigalike. That's what I was using back then. 32 milligram freebase cartridge.
Holy crap.
32 milligram. It was really, really strong. And I thought, do the vaping thing for a month. Give up vaping, nicotine free. Yeah, that worked out, didn't it?
But if it's 32 milligram freebase, you obviously just touch it on your lips and just do that. You probably don't close your mouth when you vape on 32 milligram freebase. Oh my crap, that must be extremely strong. Did you get your hands on one of these already? Because I know you are one of the you like them, or don't you?
Not yet. Reviewers. I was talking with David from Yee, and he said they're holding back the G Class 2 and they're holding back the SL Class 2 because they want to send the extra doors with the G Class 2 to the reviewers. So I don't have it yet. I don't have it.
But I mean, yeah, so basically I see, but you actually have to unscrew this one. It's not a C-frame which you can just pull off.
Yeah.
Because this guy obviously takes a battery from below. But
if I think they missed a trick. They should have made it a C-frame.
Yeah, no, they should have made it. They should have. Because I mean, the reason why I purchased this one is because, I mean, I've got, and I know you've got the black one. Yeah. I always watched you with the black one because that's the one I wanted. But you can't find the doors anymore, nothing. So I've got the red one still. But that's the reason why I love this one, because it's got that similar design to that Dual 18650. There you go. I mean, just look at these two guys next to one another.
That's the one. There they are. It's just. I'm waiting for I'm still waiting for the announcement of the Q Class and Q Mini V2, because you know it's coming. You know they're going to do it. No,
they are. But you're still a Yee fan.
I'm still a Yee fan. I just don't use them as much as I used to now, because I've got the Lost Vape. I'm on a Lost Vape Thelema Solo. I've got the BP Mods Idol, which is a DNA board. Although I've got a mod with a Yee chip in it. I've got the IPV200, which has got one of the older Yee chips in it. But yeah, I've got all my Yee stuff down there.
And a mod I don't often see you vape is one of the boxers. But I know you own a boxer.
I've got a boxer, but it's on the shelf up in the studio. I never use it.
But why? I know you've got it on the shelf. That's the reason why I'm asking you now.
Yeah, because this is the reason that whenever you see me vaping up at the studio, and more especially here at the house...
Vic, this is South Africa. You can talk here. We're small. Yeah. Not a lot of people watching. You can speak your mind.
The big reason is I'm a ham-fisted idiot, and I generally don't tend to use expensive mods because I'll end up dropping them. Mm-hmm. That's why they're all on the shelf.
Okay, all right.
Jay Hayes' mods on the shelf. I used that for like a day. I've got Jay Hayes' Inception up on the shelf. The entire line of the Asmodeus Kadama line, all of them, they're all on the shelf. All the stuff from Vape Smarter, the DNA 250, the DNA 100 classes from Vape Smarter, they all go on the shelf. I don't touch them because I'm ham-fisted. I have dropped so many mods just by going out down to the shop. I don't want anything. Basically, the way I see it, if the retail value of the mod is over £100 RRP in the UK, it gets shelved. I don't use it.
But you had a break-in a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
I did, yeah, I did.
And then you probably lost a few unique, precious mods.
I mean, the one that stuck in my mind, because I think the break-in happened 2019 from what I remember, And the one that stuck in my mind was a very limited run of mods from, I can't remember the mod. It was a side-by-side mod, and it was a wood-based side-by-sider, and it was sitting on the shelf, the old shelves behind me. And the interesting thing was, whoever done the break-in, they knew what they were going after. So all the Kadamas, the original Kadamas, they were all stolen. All the expensive mech tubes that were on the wall behind me, they were all stolen. The computer was obviously stolen as well. But they left behind all the smock mods, all the Wotofo mods, all the mainstream stuff. They targeted the expensive stuff first.
And you guys never got a lead on who possibly could have done that, whether it's out-of-towners that came in and left again?
None. Even the local cop shop, the local police, they went up, done the dusting, couldn't find any fingerprints. They found a couple of smudged fingerprints, but they couldn't find anything. And even keeping an eye on the usual suspect places like eBay, Amazon, nothing showed up.
Is it?
Nothing showed up.
Oh my goodness gracious. But you also enjoy reviewing your high-end mods if you receive them, but you don't often get sent them.
No, I'll be honest, I've actually turned down, I haven't turned down a lot because I'm not known as the high-end reviewer. That's mainly Todd. He's over in the east coast of Scotland. I'm not known as a high-end reviewer, so it's rare, very rare for me, for a high-end mod manufacturer, especially the ones in Central Europe, to actually contact me for a review. I've actually turned down a couple of high-end reviews from Central Europe companies midway through last year, because the one thing that I notice whenever I do a high-end review, and we're talking like something that's above £250 in value, I get a lot of hate in the comments.
The trolls are going to creep out.
Yeah, I get a lot of hate in the comments, and I thought to myself, well, the bulk of the people that watch Vaping with Vic, the bulk of the viewers, they're all mainstream vapors. They use smock kits, they use the IPVs. They use the geek vapes, They're not going to be interested in something that's basically half their week's wages worth. They're not going to be interested in it. So
that's probably where your membership comes in, where you actually do a review and something like that and post it for your members. They probably might be more interested in that because it's such a limited audience which you're going to have from something like that. But do you ever get to the point where you get sent stuff and you open the package and you just tell yourself, here not again?
Pods. That's all it seems to. I mean, there isn't any reviews up in the, and this is the first time for years there's no reviews up in the channel this week because I've literally ran out of things to review. I've got the atemporal RTA up next week, and I've got a pod kit with a filter tip thing, and all the other emails that I'm getting in, it's for pods and AIOs. I mean, I think I'm getting the Recurve 2 in because Wotofo were a bit late sending that one out, but there's no rebuildables that I know, apart from the Recurve 2, there's no rebuildables I know coming up for review.
You've reviewed the Valkyrie already, the 30mm.
Yeah.
And you also liked it, you also enjoyed it. I think you gave it a good review as well.
Yeah. Oh, tanks like that, I love tanks like that. I'm more of a fan of the smaller single coil RTAs though. More of a fan of those.
But this thing is a disappointment. The Wasp Nano 2.
I didn't get that.
No, this thing is rubbish.
Yeah, I wasn't sent that in, probably because...
No, I wasn't. One of my members, the godfather of vaping in South Africa, it's called Rob Fisher. He sent me the Valkyrie, and he sent me that because he doesn't like dual coils, although this being a single coil, he included that in the package. So I was actually extremely happy that he sent me this. I couldn't believe it.
It's a good tank.
Geez, especially on this paranormal edition, it looks fantastic. Yep. It does look good, and that's another thing which I just wish I had the this blue project. What did they call it? Project Blue, where Last Vape brought out a few of the mods with this blue and the
blue plates on the side. Yeah,
and I think the other one was a paranormal, but you just can't find these things anymore. Yes,
that's because that's the thing about Lost Vape. They've got a tendency, Lost Vape, I'm using a Lost Vape product here, they've got a tendency of doing...
Hyperion, awesome. Oh, that's a single Therion.
Yeah, it's the single. It's the single Thelema.
Yeah, I've also got that one. It's very nice. But I know you're a Hyperion fan. I love my Hyperion.
Oh, I love the Hyper. Yeah,
it's a great
But this is the thing about Lost Vape. Lost Vape keep doing limited runs, and I'm like, why do you do limited runs? Just sell them to the masses. But no, they don't. They do limited runs because that way Lost Vape know that they will sell every single unit. And then the price goes up in the second-hand market because they're not making the damn things anymore.
Aye, man. There's one, Dion Danhauser says he has subscribed to your channel just because you decided to support South Africa. Nice. Then somebody actually asked you, what is your favorite pipe mod? I don't often see you use pipe mods.
Yeah, but I don't use that many pipe mods. But the one that took my fancy is the Lion's Mane mod, which is from Vape Smarter UK. You can actually see it in the shelf behind me when I'm doing the reviews. It's that pipe with a long stem at the end of it that sits on the lower shelf. I'm a big fan of that.
But you probably don't own one of these high-end ones.
Oh, no, I don't own that.
No, this is cheap. This is very cheap. No, I'm just messing with you. But a pipe which obviously I really want is the Limelight die codes, but it's just too expensive.
It's way too expensive.
Unfortunately,
way too expensive.
But that thing is beautiful. Oh my word, that's such a nice pipe. For sure. The other thing I wanted to ask you, Vic, is what is the oldest piece of hardware which you still use?
Which I still use.
Which you still use. Where you every now and again decide, damn it, I'm going to wake this guy up and use it because you enjoyed it so much, or it's got some other nostalgic value to you. What is the oldest piece of hardware?
Kennedy RDA.
Oh my word, there you go. Now there you go. Now that's a classic.
Kennedy, this is the Kennedy 20. Is this the 25? I've got the 25 and the 24. I think the 24's up at the studio, so yeah. Got a Kennedy here on top of the old black and purple limited edition Dovepole dual topside. That's the oldest dripper that I've got going. When it comes to tanks, I recycle tanks very, very quick. The oldest tank... What one's the oldest tank? I think the oldest tank, from a release point of view, the oldest tank's going to be this. Although it was recently re-released with the Hadron kit, but this is the oldest tank that I'm running right now, which is the Steam Crave Aroma Miser Supreme V3 version 3, because the other tanks I've got, Blotto Max, that's just been released. Blotto 1.5, that's just been released. And this is a relatively new tank as well for mouth to lung. It's the BP Mods Pioneer. I'm a big tank fan. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, I'm a big tank fan.
Yeah, but it's because you're on the go. You're between your house and the...
Yeah.
So you got to have something with a bit of capacity. I mean, it's the same with me. I started out as a huge RDA fan. I mean, I got myself Tokugawas from Canada, the original Goons, the Kennedy. I've got so many at the back here. But then when you get to a point where you actually get an RTA which delivers you the flavor similar to that of an RDA, which you never thought was going to be possible.
It is now, though.
But it is. There's Arbiter 2 and the Thunderhead Creations and there's Valkyrie, and there's just so many which are just fantastic at this moment. Even this old Kylan, which I'm also testing at the moment, the original Kylan 2. This thing kicks ass for these old guys. So and then the sake for convenience, obviously the juice is just great. Have you ever thought of whether you're going to stop vaping some other time?
Probably not. Nah, not now. I mean, I've been vaping for 8 years, and quite frankly, I like nicotine, so I can't see myself quitting vaping. Can't see it.
But your name is also a brand, am I right?
Yeah, it is Vaping with Vic. The actual Vaping with Vic is a registered company here in the UK. So when I'm doing reviews and I'm sitting up in the studio just outside the town centre, at the end of every January, at least for the past 3 years, I've had to pay taxes, which was nice.
Your taxes aren't probably that heavy though. What percentage is it?
They're not too bad. They're not as bad as I thought it would be, put it that way. But yeah, I've got to pay taxes on the business.
Oh my word.
Which also means that now and again. It's rare that it happens these days, but when I first, because we were under the TPD2, this was before Brexit actually happened, when I went self-employed in 2018, going into 2019, I used to get visits from Trading Standards UK, roughly every 3 months, to make sure that I was abiding by the marketing and advertising laws of the Tobacco Products Directive. Now they don't care because we're out of Brexit, so they don't care anymore. I haven't had any kind of visit from Trading Standards for about a year and a half now, I think. Yeah, about a year and a half.
I don't know if you saw the slideshow which I actually showed, because normally part of the format of my specific show is where I just do a general chat, maybe a giveaway or a lucky spin or something like that, and then I do a slideshow portion. I don't know if you watched the slideshow portion or you just joined when
I caught the tail end of it.
Okay, any case, but one of the pictures which I actually showed was a bill which the South African government is starting or planning to implement in the beginning of 2023, where they actually want to put up a additional tax of R1 something per milliliter.
£2.90.
£2.90 per milliliter additional tax. Do you know how much 100 mils or 120 mil juice is going to cost you now as a South African if they decide to pass this bill?
They're basically trying to price. See, Israel done the exact same thing. They didn't go for a ban, but they slapped so much tax on the e-liquid, they're making it impossible for people to afford the juice. That's what they're doing.
But why in Israel? I mean, I can understand where Big Pharma and Big Tobacco plays a huge role, but why Israel?
I don't know either, because I thought up until Tomer, because he's one of the guys from Israel that watch me regularly, up until Tomer told me what the plan was, I thought Israel was like the UK. I thought they were very liberal to do with electronic cigarettes, but I think what could be happening is cigarette sales in Israel are relatively high. Because of the area that they're in, because the tobacco industry, some really, really rare tobacco leaves are actually growing in Israel as well for the cigar industry. And I'm thinking what the Israeli government could be thinking is, we're losing a lot in taxes because a lot of smokers are not smoking anymore and they're switching to this. I think that's what it could be. I think it's the same thing that happened over in the United States, because the fall of the United States happened on the East and the West Coast. California, Oregon, New Jersey, all these states that were heavily, heavily reliant on the Tobacco Master Settlement Agreement. That's where all the bans came in first.
Yeah, well,
all about the money.
I'm just quickly trying to find out the name of it. Was a documentary which I watched when I decided to quit smoking and to start vaping. I watched a British doctor who decided he doesn't want to be a medical doctor anymore. He's going to start doing documentaries, and he's actually done a few. He did one on parasites as well, where he actually eats meat with the tapeworm eggs on the inside, just to see how the tapeworms develop inside the small intestines, etc. And it was his documentary which I watched. He's not a smoker, he's not a vapor, he's not a drinker, but what he does for his documentaries is he smokes to get results. He vapes to get results. He drinks to get results. And that I appreciate. And that's what I can't understand about the rest of the world. How the hell can you blindly look at this humongous heap of medical evidence in favor of vaping and still decide you're going to be an asshole about it?
Money. That's what it all comes down to. It's all to do with money.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you guys save so much money in your health sector because of it being but why can't they see that there's actually a gain in that area that justifies leaving vaping alone?
Well, the big difference is with the United Kingdom, the UK government and the taxpayer for that matter is what's paying for the health service over here. So the way the UK government sees this, the less smokers they've got, the less they're going to pay down the road for cancer treatments. Yeah. But in the United States, it's all private healthcare over there. They need people with cancer. It's the harsh truth, because Nick Grimm-Green said the same thing himself about 2 years ago. They need cancer people for the cancer sector. The American Cancer Society, which is supposed to be a charity to help people get rid of cancer, they're against e-cigs. They're against it. So hold on a minute. How can a cancer charity be against electronic cigarettes? It's because the American Cancer Society is a multi-billion-dollar business that relies on people getting cancer. And what's the quickest way to get cancer? Smoking.
There you go. As you said, it's all about
money.
It's all
money.
Money talks and bullshit walks.
Yep.
Nico Libber actually asked, what flavor profile do you favor for your MTL and for your direct lung?
Mouth to lungs, always tobacco, and it's got to be a really nice, naturally extracted tobacco. So I've got, and I need to fill this tank up, but in this little fellow, I've got Best Cig Liquids Virginia mild flu cured tobacco, naturally extracted. But when it comes to direct to lung, fruits or custard.
Yeah.
That's what I normally lean to.
Your peach custard.
Oh, the peach custard. Oh, love that. That's what's in there. That's what I've got in this, actually. I've got the peach custard in here. Oh,
and it's one of your creations, and it's a creation you just don't get tired of.
Nah, I've been vaping that peach custard for about 2.5 years now.
Same,
Still not
same
tired
with
of
this.
it.
I mean, it's a lime slushy which I made, and it's what I vape. And it's so nice if you get to a point where you actually make things which become an all-day vape for yourself.
Yeah.
Make life so much easier, especially with this bloody tax stuff they decide to start bringing in.
You save a lot of money because you're making the juice yourself. Exactly. Yep.
Do you ever get worried about you being a business that relies on the vaping scene? Do you ever get worried that things might go downhill and that you might start having to look at other avenues for income?
It's already going downhill. And it's been going downhill for at least the past year and a half. One of the biggest problem that's facing the e-cig industry right now is the disposables. And when the disposables first hit the United States, everyone here in the UK was looking at what was going on over there and thinking the anti-e-cig establishment has the perfect weapon to bash people over the head with. And then these disposables started creeping out over here. There is now calls by certain trade groups in the UK for the UK government to do a flat ban on disposables. But the problem is, the main e-cig manufacturers right now, not so much Aspire, not so much Smock, and not so much Geek Vape, but a lot of the other ones, they've backed themselves into a corner because they were relying on the sales of these disposables, which can be sold for a very, very cheap price, right? They were relying on the sales of these disposables to tide them over while changes were taking effect in the United States industry. Well, the US industry's collapsed. It's gone. And what's happening now, and everyone's seen it by now, you've got the major manufacturers now targeting Central Europe, parts of Russia, and the UK when it comes to marketing. But the problem is they've been relying on these disposables for so damn long now that they've backed themselves into a corner. And if they try and switch things up to do advanced kits, like the Smock dual battery kits, for instance, it takes them a long time for the turnaround to get away from disposables or pods and back onto the kits that actually made them money. Yeah. But while all this is going on, the UK classic independent vape shops, they're all shutting here because they're not making any money. Because the disposable craze has ended. Nobody cares about the disposables anymore. And all these independent vape shops up and down the UK that ploughed a lot of money into the disposable scene, only to realise that the disposable scene is not as big as it once was, are now basically facing bankruptcy. The industry is already on a downturn, and it's been on a downturn for a long time now, and a lot of the blame has to be put on the laps of a lot of the bigger companies over in Shenzhen that tried to cash in on the disposable craze when they fucking knew the disposables would wreck the industry. They knew it was going to happen.
And then you've got the problem with the disposables having such good flavor. You can't deny that they got great flavor.
Some of those mangoes, some of the mango, and I hate mango vapes, right? But some of the disposables had really nice mango mixed fruit flavors in there. And I found myself just chain vaping on them and thinking, these are bloody good.
No, they are. They are. You can't deny it. It's as if their flavor profiles run at about 25% flavoring.
Yeah.
But it's ridiculous, the good flavor which you get from those things. So you can totally understand why the layman is going to go into the vape shop and buy them. You can totally understand it.
It's easy to use. Yeah, it's easy to use. Once it's done, you just throw the whole thing in the bin and buy another one for under $5.
Vic, can you quickly lift up your T-shirt? The people like your T-shirt.
Oh, it's a Suicide Bunny shirt. Suicide Bunny, the old e-liquid manufacturer. I don't know if they're still trading, actually.
My goodness gracious, that looks cool. I was
Yeah,
thought it's
Suicide Bunny e-liquids.
Alice in Wonderland spin-off. But then
Yeah, it is. Actually, it is.
Yeah, most probably.
I don't know if Suicide Bunny are still around. I haven't heard nothing from them for a long time. Oh, hold on.
South Prawn wants to know is it possible to buy 100 milligram nicotine in the UK for do-it-yourself, and if so, where can you get that?
100 milligram is rare. Normally, it's 72 milligram that's sold in the UK. I can't remember the exact website now, but if you go to Google and search Nicotine UK, you'll come up with a website called Nicotine Hub, or actually called Nicotine UK. And that's the best place. In fact, it's really the only places to get them in the United Kingdom. There's only really two. I think there's only two major manufacturers of nicotine in the UK, and it's Nic Hub or Nicotine UK. I think I get mine from Nic. Yeah, it's Nic Hub. That's where I get mine from.
No, we're lucky. I mean, we can get it in South Africa, and it's not too hard to come by these things. I think one of the vendors inside the chat, Jurgen Strydom, the guy who likes your T-shirt, he's a local vendor, and I think he's going to start selling this pure nicotine, which is nicotine which I use in any case now.
This is the road that I think a lot of people are going to go down because. If the rumours, and again they're only rumours, but if the rumours about the European Union's TPD3 are to be believed, there could be a chance that the European Union might go down the same road that South Africa is going down, slapping heavy taxes on e-liquids by the milliliter. And this is why I'm launching, or should I say relaunching, the eSig 101 series at the very end of this week. And season 1 is going to be all about the beginners, pod kits, what's vaping all about, what's in an e-liquid. But season 4, which I've got planned for sometime during winter of this year, it's going to be about 5 episodes all about mixing liquids.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Because that's the road that a lot of people are going to go down. They're going to make their own liquids.
And Vic, I think it's the best time to get into do-it-yourself because, I mean, most of your research has been done for you already. You know exactly what is the nicest peach, what is the nicest grape, what is the nicest custard. Everything's out there for you already. So instead of us having to go and buy 10 different lemonades to find out what is the nicest lemonade, these
and you buy 10 different lemonades, you use one and the rest of them are just wasted.
No, absolutely. And it's not as if flavorings are cheap though. These things are more expensive than food flavorings.
Yeah, they are.
Have you ever tried making a milkshake out of your flavorings? It's fantastic. No, you should do it. No, you must. If you've got banana or strawberry or things like that, though, and the thing is, you just need to add a lot, but you get a fantastic milkshake by using these flavorings.
I'll need to give it because they are food flavorings after all, so that's what they're used for. I'll need to give it a try.
Because I'm a lime fan, I make a mean lime milkshake with my lime flavorings.
I'll need to give that a try.
Ryan Banna says he loves how knowledgeable Vic is on the industry. Now, he's on the ball. That out knocks. And
you have to be.
I think you know so much that you actually come across sometimes as if you criticize other countries, but it's just because you know the facts. You know what is going on.
But here's the thing. This is going to be a very good hint for everyone that's watching this show right now, and all the people that are going to be watching the replay. Hi, people watching the replay. A lot of the information that I get, it's not secret like backdoor deals. A lot of the information I get, I've got from LinkedIn. All the head people on the NHS, all of the major players for the larger health departments in the European Union, they're all in LinkedIn, and a lot of them don't know how to keep secrets.
Thankfully for you, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's also strange when I do my slideshows and I show new products. There's only one website which I use, and it's a Russian website. Not American, not UK, not Indonesia, Russian, of all things.
It's because Russia's one massive free-for-all. They basically don't have any vaping laws over there. They basically don't. It's the way the United States used to be back in 2012, 2013. Russia is now the Wild West of vaping. How long that's going to remain, anyone's guess. Don't know. Don't know.
But yeah, who would think? Because you never hear about Russia, and all of a sudden, you know, these guys, they know what's going on. Absolutely.
But here's the thing from Geek Vapes, and I think they released some of the statistics at the very beginning of December of last year. With the United States market basically collapsing, they've now bumped up Russia into third place. So Russia's now their third biggest market. That's why you're now seeing Geek Vape, and I think the latest one was Smock. You're seeing Geek Vape and Smock put up pictures of the latest product with Russian text below it, targeted to the Russian market. They never used to do that. Never used to do it.
Listen, Vic, one of the nicest shows which I always watched when I was starting vaping was the UK Vape Show. And I was always wondering, I know what's happening with TVP. I mean, I know you guys don't braai barbecue together anymore. I understand that. But whatever happened to the other member of the UK Vape Show? The guy that also had his own shop.
Oh, Chris Empire.
That's right,
He basically started doing his shop stuff. He doesn't do e-cig reviews anymore, but, and I just heard about this last week, Chris Empire Vape Co.'s shop is shutting down.
Oh my word. All right.
Because he's a small independent shop. And again, the vaping industry is on a downturn, and it's the independent shops that feel it first. The big chain stores like Totally Wicked and VPZ, they can keep their shops open because they cater to a wider audience. But I think what happened with Chris is it was basically a downturn. It's not just a case of the industry being on a downturn. COVID had a big part to play in it as well, because his shop was shut down for a very long time. Very long time, and he didn't have the infrastructure in place early on for online shopping, so he was caught kind of unawares. He's got an online shop now. I think he's going to keep the online shop open, but his brick and mortar store, that's shutting down. It's closing.
And you showed the top side earlier though. Have you got any idea whatever happened to Brian, the Vaping Chronicles?
He quit the industry. He left.
But was he just tired of it? He just decided that it's too much emotion invested?
I think it was a mix of being tired of it and just wanting to move on. I think that's what it basically was. I mean, he didn't even announce he was leaving. He just left. Just bye and gone. The same thing happened to Billy Vaping Heathen, the Dead Rabbit dude. Same thing happened to him. Although the mistake that he did is anytime a new Dead Rabbit release was coming up, Billy says, "Hi, I'm back," and then he left again. But I think this time around, I think Billy Vaping Heathen left. But I know that Brian TVC, he just left to do his own thing.
Yeah,
he's got a family.
That was a strange thing about Heathen. I mean, as soon as you know a new Dead Rabbit was going to... He comes up and he apologizes for not being there, but he promises, no, from now on. And then disappears again. Then he goes. What is the chances we ever see Mark as a guest on the UK Vape Show again?
Who?
Mark.
Which Mark?
The vaping postman.
Never. No, that's not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Is that umbilical cord knip? Is it cut? It's gone. It's off.
Far too many bridges were burned with that one, so it's not going to happen. Although, I mean, you never know. I mean, never say never. The UK Vapor Expo is back on this year. So the Vapor Expo takes place at the last weekend of May.
Yeah.
I know that Mark Postman is going. If we decide to sit down and have a chat over a couple of pints and brush things over, you never know.
Yeah,
you never
I mean,
know.
I don't think you guys have got anything to lose by amending things, put it that way. It's not nice to see. As I said, I mean, you saw the click which you guys had back in the day. And
Yeah.
I mean, to have that would be nice, because I think they were more personalities on the UK Vape Show than what the current people are. I mean, I think the current people are a bit more boring than what they were. They were characters.
Yeah, the current people, it's the newer generation of vapors that are on the current show. I'm a dinosaur when it comes to reviewing now. So the ones that are up now, like Aidan Littlebro Vapes, Adam Retro Vape TV, and Sean Grizzly Vapes, they're the newer generation. They're still finding their feet. That's what they're doing. They're still finding their feet. But I still have a lot of fun in the UK Vape Show. I still have a lot of fun on it.
One of my members asked, Vic, do you have any vape juice recipes you are willing to share with us? I think you did share your pear custard. Your pear custard's available on the internet.
I shared all of them. The old watermelon, because I used to be a big fan of watermelon vapes, and then I got tired of the flavour. But I've got 5 different peach custards, 2 different watermelons, and a wintry themed one. You'll find them all on eliquidrecipes.com. Just head there.
Under Vaping with Vic or Victor Mullin.
Yeah, under Vaping with Vic.
Well, there you go, Nico. And then Navesh says Heathen made $1 million from the dead rabbit and then left.
That's the rumour. The rumour going around is Heathen made just over $1 million from the dead rabbit.
Are you serious?
That's the rumour. Because we need to remember how many dead rabbits were made. You had the original dead rabbit, the dead rabbit 0.5 update, the Dead Rabbit RTA, the Dead Rabbit RTA Mini, the Dead Rabbit 2, he made just over £1 million. Not pound, $1 million.
But was he involved in all of them? Because, I mean, I know the similar thing happened to the drop, where Brian didn't have anything to do with the drop 1.5 or drops released after a certain one.
From what I know, Billy Heathen was involved with Hell Vape up until the beginning of 2021, January 2021. So the Dead Rabbit, the Dead Rabbit RTA, the Dead Rabbit 1.5, possibly the Dead Rabbit 2, but I'm not sure. But I know this latest Dead Rabbit that's came out, Billy had nothing to do with it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Listen, Vic, before I'm actually going to say goodbye to you, because I mean, I promised you it's going to be a half hour. I don't want to stretch your time though. But your quality of your videos are phenomenal. Can you please tell us what camera you use?
I am using an ancient Canon 200D DSLR that I bought about 4 years ago. You can pick. They don't make them now. So if you're heading on to Amazon to look this up, they're not making them now. They've been replaced by the Canon 250D. But if you head on to Amazon or eBay, you can pick up a decent Canon 200D for about half the price they were released, and it's literally a budget DSLR. The trick about DSLRs and mirrorless, it's not the camera body, it's the lens.
Yeah.
You pick a good lens, and I'll give you another hint here. For the FaceTime stuff, like the final thoughts at the last half of the review, when I'm sitting at the table, that is a 25mm Canon pancake lens. For the table cam stuff, the zoom in stuff, I think it's the Canon Redline 150mm telephoto that I use for that. It's the lens. It's not the body that counts. It's the lens.
You know, I've still got this camera. Now, I don't know if you recognize what this is. This is
it's the Nikons.
It's the D7100.
Yeah.
Also still the DSLR. Now, can you believe it that I don't use this? It's ridiculous. I use the Brio, believe it or not.
You're using the... What? I never got on with the Brio. I sold mine.
No, the Brio is fine. I mean, it's working great. It's better than the C920. I've still got the C920 mounted at the top
here's
there.
the thing. That's what I'm using, a C920 right now.
But this, I mean, that I don't use this is ridiculous. I mean, this is obviously going to have way better quality.
Way better.
Better quality.
Way better.
No, I should definitely make a plan of using
You should
this.
you should at least use that camera for the
close-ups.
close-up work on the table. That's what you should
I've got
do.
a nice macro lens as well, which probably cost me about 8,000 rand.
Yeah, the macro lenses are rather expensive.
They're phenomenal. They're phenomenal.
If you're looking at the B-roll shots, the new B-rolls that I do of the images of the image turning and the cameras panning down, that's an 80mm macro lens, and it costed me £450. It costed more than the body of the camera did, but the images are crystal clear. Phenomenal images.
I couldn't buy this camera in South Africa. I actually purchased it on eBay Canada, because I've got a brother-in-law which stays there, and then I think I paid 9,000 rand for the camera with its lenses, and he just brought it over from Canada on one of his visits. But to get this in South Africa would have cost me almost 20,000 rand at that point in time.
Yep.
I know you take a chance buying something on eBay, but I mean,
sometimes you get good deals on eBay, and here's the thing as well. I mean, Canon, not so much Nikon, but Canon has already announced, and they announced this at the very end of last year, going into New Year of this year. Canon have basically announced that they are now decommissioning the DSLR line.
Yeah.
There's going to be no more DSLR cameras. They're going full mirrorless only. So if you've got a DSLR camera, especially if it's Canon, just keep looking, especially at the end of this year. Because a lot of people are going to be going out to buy mirrorless cameras now because DSLR is dead to them. You may find some really good deals on some really good lenses in the second-hand market. Because I've been keeping a close eye on it, because I'm after one of the Redline 250mm telephoto lenses that's got the Carl Zeiss glass on it, because that's going to be phenomenal for the table work. Oh, phenomenal for the table work.
No, you enjoy it. I can see you love you playing around with your camera and your angles and things like that. No, you enjoy it. When I had Daniel on a few weeks ago, I don't know if you know, Daniel also goes to a lot of trouble with his reviews. DJ LSD.
He does, yep.
But he mentioned something to me which was very interesting. I'm not sure whether you've been longer in the vaping game than Daniel. I think he's a bit longer than you.
I think he was in the vaping review game for about 9 or 10 months longer than me, from what I remember.
But he's actually he mentioned that they're thinking of opening up a museum. He's got so much vape gear that they're considering opening a museum, Vic.
Yeah.
Do you know how much mods and stuff you must have, and how far
Well,
back
I've got one
you must...
behind me. Got all that. That's ancient stuff in there that never made it up to the studio, but I've got a kind of mini museum sitting behind me right now.
But you never use any of those anymore?
Nah, never use them. They just sit there. Sit there.
Okay. Listen, Vic, thank you very much. I know it was a fairly short notice, and it was almost difficult to get you because you don't use Facebook a lot, though. Emails are always a bit weird, though, but thankfully we got to one another, though. And
we made it in the end.
No, we did in the end. But I would love to have you on in a few months' time again. And just because there's a lot of stuff which I actually still want to ask you, though. And now at least you know who I am and what the show's about. And there's no cursing inside the chat. These oaks are very friendly down here in South Africa. So honestly, we do appreciate the time which you set aside to chat to us down here in South Africa.
Yeah, and what I'll do is that sometime probably, we're at the end of February, so probably the end of March, beginning of April, I'll drag you on as a guest on the UK Vape Show.
Well, you can do that, yeah. You can do that. Bring us out some African flavour, and I'll eat some biltong so you oaks can see what the biltong is. And stop with the beef jerky crap which you guys are eating. Thank you very much, Vic. I do appreciate it.
Okay, doc. Cheers.
Cheers. There you go. Almost. There's it. There you go, fellows. That was a fantastic session with Vaping with Vic. And it was so nice to have him on. And inside chat though. So yeah, I just want to thank everybody for joining tonight though, and actually sharing in this experience. As I said, next week, if things pan out the way which we wanted to pan out though, then we will be having Mr. Matt from Suck My Mod. He will be joining us next week, and I sent him a Facebook message. He is very keen. It's just a question of getting a time which actually suits them, because it's easier to use Vic and to use Todd or to use UK guests, because they're just 2 hours behind. So if 8:30 in South Africa is going to be 6:30 at their place, which is easier then to actually be part of a show. But America is totally different. So let's see, hopefully, if that thing pans out. So Oaks, thank you very much for coming along, and you must enjoy the rest of your week and have a great weekend, lads. Just want to quickly chat over here, see there. Tina says, awesome show. Tina's, again, welcome. Thank you very much for joining as a member of this channel. Always appreciate it. Much appreciated. Thanks, Vic, says Fee. Thank you, cheers, guys. Says Charles. Vic and Kaiser, epic show. Highly appreciated. Thank you very much. Welcome, AKS. It's nice that I am in the position to be able to bring some interesting guests onto the show, that they're actually willing to do that. But yeah, it's a big pleasure. South Prawn says, great show again, Kaiser. No problem there, South Prawn. Dawn Oosthuizen, great show once again. There you go. Lekker op 5 plekke. Let's just get that extra screen ready, and let's see how that happens. Guys, cheers, huh?